Hello students, Mr. Krauser here. This is a third video about your summer reading work. Now, I know it might seem like there's a lot of prep for this summer reading and there's a lot of videos, but it is intentional. I want to make sure you guys have more than enough information so that you could get started with your project, and that way you know all of the instructions and you know exactly what's expected of you. Now, here I need to offer a word of warning. You have a lot of choice in your assignments and your book choice, but you need to be wise. So, as you should already know, you can pick any book that you want as long as it's fictional, above 150 pages, and is grade level appropriate. Now, the other sense of appropriateness is what your parents would approve of you being able to read and what your own conscience would tell you that you're able to read. So there's a lot of books out there, obviously, and not all of them are moral. Not all of them are very good. Maybe some have an overabundance of curse words. Maybe some have sexual content. Maybe some have other aspects of religion that you wouldn't agree with. Now, I'm not saying that you need to automatically exclude those from your choices, but what I am saying is you need to make sure that your parents are on board as well. This should not be something that you guys are in contention with. There are plenty of book choices out there. So, yes, you have your own choice and you can pick what you want to read, but you need to be wise with what you pick. And I'm going to explain why as well. So, in your book choice, you need to be wise because obviously you're going to be doing work for that book. And so if it's going to require you talking about things that are immoral and you're acting as if you're condoning the immorality in the book, that will end up being a problem, right? Now, you also want to make sure that your parents are on board to be transparent with them and also to avoid any potential conflicts later on, because if you read a book and you choose one and your parents end up not liking your book choice, maybe they make you do the whole assignment over again, or maybe they have a problem with you even submitting that work. So it's always better off too if you just communicate, and that means parents communicate with your students and students communicate with your parents. And maybe this is an opportunity where your entire family can read the same book and kind of talk about it, right? So that's why you need to be wise with your book choice. Now, you also need to be wise with your online posts, because you know that this assignment requires you to post things online, either through a blog, through vlogs like YouTube or other videos, or through a podcast. Now, with that being said, you are not required to post it publicly. You can do private posts. You can, even on YouTube, you can make it unlisted and only I and Mr. Dowdy would have the link, or whoever you share it to. If you do blog posts, you don't even have to publish your Google site. You might choose to do all your blog posts on a Google Doc. That's completely fine. Maybe you just do all of your videos in Google Drive and you upload all those videos. Maybe your podcast is just audio that you upload on the first day of class to Google Classroom. Regardless, if you choose to make it public and you want other people, like maybe you start your own YouTube channel, maybe you spread your website around, you have to be aware of the way in which you talk about things and what you say, because you don't want to leave a bad digital footprint. Because at this point in time in the 21st century, what you post online matters, and how you say it and what you say matters, and it can follow you. And remember, I'm watching this, I'm listening to it, I'm reading them, but other people are too. And so even if you chose a book that you know other people would disapprove of, but your parents are okay with it, just be aware that you talking about it, you might be condoning it for another person in your class that might not be allowed to watch it. And so one way to avoid that controversy is maybe just make it unlisted, make it private, only send it to me. But if you still want to make it public, you are definitely free to do that. Just be careful with how you say things and how you present material as well. And of course, don't ever condone immoral stuff. Even in the book, you're allowed to point things out in the book and say that it was wrong. All right. Now, this all falls under the guise of just be wise. Be wise with what you post. Communicate with your parents effectively. Let them know what you're reading. They should be aware of it. And depending on what assignments you choose to do, just be wise with it. Be wise with your words, be wise with your actions, and just know, even if you are completely good with whatever you speak on and you don't say anything bad, if your book is interpreted as condoning things that are bad, if your book is often seen as being immoral from your friends and your friends' parents, just know how you handle that is going to matter. So you need to think of those things as well. So you don't necessarily have to shy away from it, but you do have to use wisdom in how you do all of this. And so I'm Mr. Krauser. If you have any questions, you could always email me, but I just wanted to let you guys know about this as well. It's your choice for assignments. It's your choice for books, but be wise.